Today's video is all about the quilting of the Eden Rose music quilt, so let's jump on in and see what's happening with it. So I've got this big giant spool of thread, so I just am going to walking foot quilt this one. I got Kona wide back, so it's just gonna be a black backing with black quilting. I'm just gonna do diagonals through the rectangles and then call it good. Quick and easy. Here's to hoping that it all goes well. Here we are trying to iron, and then this happens. Because what a cool kitty fort this makes. You're getting fur on everything. You know that? Everything's all spray basted in place. It's all nice and flat to the best of my spray basting flatness abilities. So now I'm going to go put my walking foot on and get it all set up to quilt. So I'm going to come back and do some chalk liner lines, and then we're going to hit the ground running. Or should I say we're going to hit the machine walking. Walking foot's on, chalk liner's all chalked, so I'm going to quilt one side so you can see it as it happens in the event that my camera runs out of memory again. So I'm going to quilt as far as it'll let me get, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So by the time you come back, after you see a little bit of quilting, this quilt's going to be done. At least the quilting part, because I still have to bind it. my first round of quilting is done. My original plan was just to do the diagonals, but when I looked back at it, there were some pretty big gaps between some of the diagonal lines going each direction, so I'm adding in another diagonal in one direction to see if I like it, and if I don't, then I'm going back in and going the other direction. So I'll show you what it's at so far. So like I had this big diamond here, and it's basically 8 inches between here, and I looked at my batting package and it said quilt up to 4 inches apart, so this was a bit too much. So I'm going in and adding, like here's a chalk line here, a diagonal on these. So some of these will have an X in the middle, like this one. This one will have an X through the quilting or through the block, and the other ones won't. If I don't like it, then they're all gonna have X's through them. So we'll see. So as you can see, last night I just started to put on my binding. So it's all ready to go. I just need to lint roll the back and get some cat fur off of it. But it wouldn't be a quilt for me if it didn't have any cat hair in it. So I'm gonna go do that. And then next thing you're gonna see is some photos of it, and then it'll be on its way. This was an easy little Villa Rosa pattern, so I would totally recommend it if you're looking for a quick quilt with some good focal fabrics that you don't want to cut up too small. So that is the Eden Rose Villa Rosa pattern. So I'll link that down below as well. And here we go. Here's some pictures.